This is the third in Cal Nonprofit's series of videos on advocacy tips for nonprofits, how to prepare for your meeting with legislative staff.
So I was wondering about some additional tips. Like one thing I'm thinking about is that if you have a 15-minute appointment with a legislative staffer, to really be respectful of that time limit and not go over, because I know that you all pack things in where you have back-to-back 15-minute meetings, sometimes all day long. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, hopefully, 15 minutes doesn't sound long to a lot of people, but it's probably the most effective way to get your message across. So if you really can't get your message across in the 15 minutes, we're already thinking about something else, unfortunately. But what is helpful, I think, for people who are going to start meeting with us, especially virtually, is to kind of have a game plan together. So have the people who are prepared to be in that meeting prepared to speak, so that's not their first time going over it. So if you practice who's going to say what at which time, it makes it flow a lot better. I've been in meetings before where there's almost 20 people on a Zoom call and everybody wants to now introduce themselves, but that now took up all of that time and they never told me what their ask was. A lot of the times too, they're kind of like looking at each other or waiting for somebody to take initiative to start the meeting. And that can also save some time, is if you just have a game plan, like who's going to go, what are we going to say, to get that message pretty clearly across to the staff.
That's great. And you mentioned an ask. Is it helpful to have the ask happen fairly early on so you know what the meeting's about?
Yep, exactly. A lot of the times people will give us back a lot of background information and have their ask at the end. But if we already know what you're asking at the beginning, then we can connect it to what you're giving us after.
That's great. So you can be processing the information that you're hearing based on what that ask is.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, good. And then the one other thing I was thinking about is that if you say in that first meeting that you're going to follow up with some information, that you really do follow up, that you fulfill whatever promise you've made in that meeting, because it's another point of contact with the ledge staffer, but also it's just showing that you've got integrity and really follow up when you say you're going to. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the times in my notes, I will put that X person said that they're going to send me information on whatever it is. So then that'll be put into what anytime I'm thinking of that issue. And so eventually when I brief my member, unfortunately I have to be like, oh, well, they said they were going to show us information. I haven't received it yet.
So that never makes you look good. Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, thank you so much.